me tonight. They got to see me.
I think if you got a guy like that, you build like that, 6'4", guy, you got to trust.
Everybody watching tonight. So I tell you what, if you get fired into the next, you're in the wrong business. We control this. We run this. And anybody coming out of the house,
they got Jordan Davis last season. They bring Fletcher Cox back in Philly. So I'm sitting there like, we need to put something on this offensive line to combat that. What's going on? Welcome back, everybody. The Wildcard weekend is finally here. The football gods somehow graced us with the number 2 seed, man. We came, we saw, we conquered, we grabbed that, but we're taking on the 7th seed Green Bay Packers. Matter of fact, 9 years ago to the day was the Des Cotted game, bro. So just talk to me a bit about how you feeling.
Hey, bro, we lit. We here, man. Playoff football, man. We've been waiting for this all year round, man. Like, we knew we was going to be here, right? But, you know what I mean, to finally kind of get this close, a couple of days out, man, we juiced up. I'm feeling good. Honestly, man, you know, there's a lot of people that's trying to make this thing interesting, like, oh, it's going to be a close game. And it could be very well, but I do feel like we're the better team. I'm feeling good. I think we come out here and take care of business this week. I truly do. It should be a fun matchup. But I get the feel that we got this thing at home. I think the Cowboy Nation, I think we're going to show up. Dak, I got a lot of faith in that. He's going to come out here. He's going to sling it. He's going to bring his best ball. Believe that. You listen to Mike McCarthy. He's hyped. Man, it seemed like everybody juiced up, and I think the defense will come to play, man. And I think we talked about this in the last episode where I said everybody got the feel of like, you know, this is not enough. You know what I mean? The NFC Championship game wasn't enough. The 2 seed is cool and all, but like we got big aspirations, and I think, you know, it starts this week. But man, we on our way to that Lombardi, man. I feel good. I'm confident, and I think we take care of business. Like I said.
Hey, man, I love it. I love the energy. I'm gonna hop right into this tail of the tape, right? So going into this one, last year we played Green Bay, and it was the Christian Watson coming out party, right?
Yeah.
This year we got Green Bay, and I guess they said this is the first time in NFL history. It might be the wild card round, but the number 1 and number 2 leaders in touchdown passes face each other. Obviously, Dak lead the league in tubs. Jordan Love is number 2, man. But going through it, I just think it's a good matchup for us. The line opened up at 7, and they quickly put the hook in there, right? Sitting at 7.5 now. I don't know if I'm willing to lay the points. I'm lying. I'm willing to lay the points. I think we go out there and we take them to the woodshed Sunday.
Vegas knows, man. Vegas knows. And, you know, like ever since they implemented this 7 seed thing, I don't believe a 7 seed has won yet. Not saying it can't happen this week. You know, you got the Steelers, obviously against the Bills, and you got Green Bay and Dallas. But, man, 2 fun matchups. And just speaking of this one, right, and you put that tape up there and you show Jordan Love, like, quietly, I'm going to be honest, I didn't really watch a lot of Green Bay this year. But when I did see him, like, the arm talent is obviously, you know, is apparent right away. And you look at the stats, man. He's had a hell of a year. The offense looks good. They got some key guys over there. I know your boy Jaden Reed. I like Jaden Reed. Jaden Reed is a beast. We all know who Christian Watson is. I know we spoke apparently about it, and you know, as far as like his injury, will he play? Will he not? A little banged up, but I think he'll be out there. I think all the horses will go for this round. I do like the tight end Musgrave. So they got some guys that's capable. I think the main thing for me though, it's Aaron Jones.
Yeah.
And you know, I think it starts and stops there. Fortunately for us, we get Big Hankins back in the middle this week.
Yes,
You know what I mean? So, but I like they do a lot of things well. A lot of movement. You know, a lot of 12 personnel. Things they could give us problems, but I think as long as our offense do what they need to do and take care of business, we put points up and make this, you know, kind of like a one-sided game as far as playing our style, getting after the quarterback. I think we can show Jordan Love like looking like a rookie Jordan Love, because technically it's his first season. But I can see this pass rush getting loose and getting home.
So crazy thing, right? This household that I live in is split this weekend. We have a big Green Bay Packers fan. We got the little Brett Favre football sitting over here. You can't really see it. Mike blocking it. But I try to keep that hidden as much as possible, right? So this game means a lot to me this weekend. I mentioned 9 years ago to the day was the Des Cotted day. Then they come to AT&T Stadium, dice us up. That was 3-4 years ago. We were at the game, lost, beat them last year, right? But coming into it this time, like, we got to get that revenge in the playoffs. So my question to you, right? Can Mike McCarthy keep his emotion in check in this football game?
I don't know. I like his emotion.
Hmm.
I like we talked about before. I don't think he's put that on the players like it's a Mike McCarthy game. But I do believe he's bringing that emotion. Obviously, you hear how he's talking. He's got the guys juiced up, man, and just letting them know like you work all year round for this moment right here. Like, yes, we've had a hell of a year, to get to 12-5 and all the obstacles we came across the way. You know what I mean? And whether it was Arizona and Buffalo and all these tough games that we played, all the losses. And then you think about the competition we played. Where I said during that stretch, I think it was just a blessing in disguise, like going against Miami, going against Detroit. A lot of these teams I just feel like are better than the Packers. And the Packers, congrats to them, they got here. I do believe they're a good up and coming ball team. I feel like if you sleep on them, for sure they can come out and smack you in the mouth. But I think Mike McCarthy in general, that's the point we making, man. I love what he's doing. I love the motion he's bringing. And I don't want him temperate at all. I want all that. I want all the energy. And you know what I mean? I just want everybody to rally around because I think back about the last playoff game, which was San Fran. It was the players was nervous and all this nervous energy. Nah, we ain't got
Debo with the jukebox.
yeah, like you know what I mean. I don't need no nervous energy. You know what I mean. If we tense out there, I don't need that. I need everybody coming out here juiced up, turn up. Give me D-Law in the huddle before game. J-Ron Curse talk your trash, man. Dak, I expect him to come out. Who's a slick trash talker at that? You know what I mean? And all of our leaders should lead this week, man. And I'm hyped for it. I'm hyped, and the players are hyped as well.
I'm gonna go in and dive right into these keys to victory, right? So we kind of talked about win the coaching battle, Mike McCarthy's emotions, but I think the big thing is you got LaFleur versus Dan Quinn, and then on the other side, I don't remember the name of Green Bay's DC, but I know they talk a lot of smack about him. They're trying to get him out the door, right?
Is it still Joe
So
Barry?
there you go,
Believe
Joe
Joe
Barry.
Barry. Yeah.
Win the coaching battle, right? Focus Mike McCarthy versus Joe Barry, Dan Quinn versus Matt LaFleur, right? That's kind of what this is going to boil down to. It's going to be a game of chess. This is playoff football. And, the Packers are going to head into this with no expectations. Like, they're not supposed to be here. I think they got
Yeah.
the youngest roster in the league. So for them, it's like a miracle, not a miracle, but it's like a blessing to even show up to the dance, right?
Yeah.
But we're supposed to be at the dance, right? So I'm trying to lead the dance.
Which is dangerous. You know what I mean? They got no pressure on them, right? So they coming out here, like you said, no expectations. They gonna come to fight for sure. And speaking of this matchup, we know LaFleur, he's a great coach. He really is. Like I said, I didn't expect them to be here this moment, but like they've been stringing together tough victories. They got some good ones in there. They beat the Rams. They got a nice victory over the Lions. So they beat some playoff teams. But you know what I mean? I think Tampa Bay beat up on them. They had some close matchups with the Panthers and things like that. So you get this, you don't know how to feel. But for us, man, I just feel like we are that team. And we're talking about coaching. I'm more concerned about, like time management, things like that. The stuff that we seen the previous couple weeks. I know we talk about being disciplined and stuff, but I think that plays a major part of it. Can we obviously make sure the time management in there, and then the key mistakes like the fumbles on the goal line, and what I mean, every week it seemed like it's one of them. We can't have that this week. Or you think about the Miami game and so many games along the way where it's like if we could have just punched them in the mouth right away and we set the tone, it would have been over with. Or the block kick last week, we go up 7 and it seemed like we about to score 14, and then luckily Washington, they get a little momentum. We can't allow that team to get that momentum. I want to take this ball first. I ain't deferring nothing. I want to take that. And if anything, I want Mike McCarthy to continue to feed CD, but I want to come out here and be aggressive early.
Yeah, no, stay calm and disciplined, right? You mentioned it. Avoid the dumb penalties. Don't allow us to beat ourselves, especially at home, right? We've won 16 straight in our building. We're looking to make it 17 this weekend. But matter of fact, I'm trying to win next week as well.
For sure.
Open up next season with 19 wins at home, right? So control the line of scrimmage. You mentioned Aaron Jones. We get our run stuffer back. Hopefully that's able to play a part because we have been getting gashed up on the ground. Aaron Jones has been dealing with some lower body injuries this season. I think they're getting A.J. Dillon back. That's their bruising back. But with Hankins back, man, I think we should be able to control the line of scrimmage, and that's the keys to victory.
Yeah, because once Hankins went out, that's kind of when we seen everything kind of switch. But before that, I mean, we was playing well. But the Packers do like to get East and West, like A.J. Dillon. I'm not worried about A.J. Dillon, to be honest. Tough, big back, but he doesn't run like his size looks. You know what I mean? On paper, you would think something different, but Aaron Jones is the guy. He can do it all. And you just got to be careful with a guy like that. You think about the stuff that James Cook was able to do against us. It's very possible that they could do some of the same things, and their offensive line is pretty good. But have they win against a team like Dallas, a pass rush like this, and you know what I mean? That's why I talk so much about playing into our style of you know what I mean game. Like, you know what I mean, if we can just put some points up, and you talk about control that line of scrimmage, oh man, we got the guys in waves. So Micah, he should be angry. He didn't get the All Pro this week, you know what I mean, and you know D Law and all those guys. Man, we got the guys up here. You know, and you think about all of that, and you think about that front seven. I think DeMond Clark, you spoke of him in the previous one where he showed up in a major way. Like if he can continue that, and then you got the other guy in Donovan Wilson, who we know can come down and lay some wood. Those guys playing their best ball. It bodes well for us in the run game, especially just bringing that Hankins back, and those guys are playing their best ball now. I like it.
What's crazy too, so talking about Green Bay offensively, right? They're loaded with a bunch of rookies, a bunch of young talent. There's not a single body outside of Aaron Jones that really worries me. I love Jaden Reed. I think he's a beast. I think he will become a great player. Christian Watson, he can't seem to stay on the field. But what worries me more with Green Bay, and this is like down the road, you cannot tell me, bro, that they hit on Hall of Famer Brett Favre, future Hall of Famer Aaron Rodgers, and a possibly good quarterback in Jordan Love. Like, what are the odds of that, right?
Yeah, they've played their cards right. I think he will be a good quarterback in the league for a long time. So, hey, the arrow is pointing up. You know what I mean? For sure.
I heard a stat today too. Not rookies. Quarterbacks with no playoff experience versus quarterbacks with playoff experience, and I don't remember the time frame here, are 17, 34, and 2 against the spread. 17 and 36 straight up. So according to that math, like things lean our way, right? But that's in effect 4 times this weekend. You got Pittsburgh with Mason Rudolph, CJ Stroud with Houston, Jordan Love, and then I'm missing one more, but we don't have to stay on topic too long with that. But interesting key there. So that's why I'm kind of like, I might take the touchdown and the hook. I don't know.
I can see it, man. It's just like it's that I don't know, like that gray area. But it's like, man, we've been playing our best ball at home, man, and really, like the Lions, I would say it's like the only team that really kind of kept things interesting. You know what I mean, for the most part. But everybody else got the doors blown off them. And like, which way am I leaning? You know what I mean? And you know, if I'm thinking about Detroit and thinking about different matchups, I just feel like we've played better teams, which leads me to say, man, like let's stop focus. I don't want to say not focus on Green Bay, but I think we should focus on us. Like if we're playing our best ball, I don't really think they can really stay on the field with us. But you know, if we kind of just play down a little bit and they kind of keep this thing rugged and they're able to keep their run game in it, and you know, what I mean, a turnover here or some mistimely penalties here, and you give a team momentum, then you know, what I mean, it can be it could turn into one of those type of games in a heartbeat, man. And you know, what I mean, we don't want that. We don't want a young quarterback to get confidence. You know what I mean? And you know, what I mean, he seems to be growing like every single week as far as like how he's feeling, what he's seeing out there. Also, Dan Quinn, man, you know, I want you to get in your bag. Show me some looks that you haven't seen, well, that we haven't seen. Oh, yeah, and I'm pretty sure he got some stuff in there. If you listen to Dan Quinn during the week, he's always installing new things. He always, you know, putting things in. So it's a lot of fresh things going on. And LaFleur, I'm pretty sure he's on the other side trying to make this thing as simple as possible, the most simplest reads, just to try to get his quarterback comfortable. And we can't have that.
I think too, like you look at this, it's a young Green Bay team, but you look at with not a lot of playoff experience, right? So you look on the other side, we got Stephon Gilmore, Super Bowl champion, Brandon Cooks. I don't know if he's got a Super Bowl ring, but he's got playoff experience.
I believe he has one with the Patriots, I believe.
He does. Okay.
So.
Oh, bro, that's the game.
Yeah.
That's right. So, I mean, we got veteran leadership on our team that's been in big spots, right? Whereas I don't know exactly what Green Bay has to lean on that way. Obviously, they're without Mercedes Lewis, without Aaron Rodgers. Bakhtiari's been MIA for like 4.5 years. So the bottom line, I think in this one, I fully expect D-Law and Micah Parsons, man, to come out hungry. I think, as you mentioned, missing out on that first team All-Pro kind of is going to rattle his cage, you know?
Yeah.
I expect to see 0 holding calls on Micah Parsons as well.
It's just what it is at this point. It's crazy. It's crazy that you even got to have this conversation, right? What, since week 6, I believe? Like
something like that.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's like going into it, you might as well not even just even think about it that even happened. He might as well just start falling out or whatever. It just seemed like he's beating these guys at such a easy rate that the referees probably, if they was to really do it, they'd be calling like 3 or 4 home calls on him a game, and maybe they don't want to get into that type of back and forth, but at least get a guy one right.
Mhm.
But matchups, yeah, I like my guys. In the secondary, you think about Jaden Reed and Christian Watson against Gilmore and Deron Bland. I like my guys.
Mhm.
Especially
Jay
with
Lou coming
Bland.
on.
Yeah, Jay Lewis playing some of his best ball, and with Deron Bland, obviously with him, it's like he's never really had a problem with speedsters or anything like that. You know what I mean? He's held his own and try him if you want to. We all know how that goes. And Gilmore against Christian Watson, give me Gilmore, man, the
Right.
technician. I think bigger body receivers. We seen how that matchup goes, right? So I like my guys there, and then on offense, bro, what we talking? I like my guys, man. So while we're so worried about Green Bay and all they can do and get them their respect, you have to. For sure, they over there worrying about us, right? It has to be a lot of conversation of all the problems we present. We have a Micah, we have a Dak, we have top 2 All Pro guys along the offensive line,
Yes, sir.
and Tyler Smith and Zach Martin, and maybe even another guy who could reach second team who's played like All Pro in Tyler Smith. We got the guys. Pollard is playing well, and believe me, that's a conversation that they got to have on their side. Everybody got to do their due diligence, but we have the guys to come in and take care of business for sure.
No, for sure. And then if you want to, we can go ahead and take a quick peek at the NFC playoff picture, right? So obviously we're the 2 going up against the 7. I still am kind of leading the Rams beat the Lions this weekend, but what it looks like is we either get a rematch with with the Lions at home, or we get the winner of Philly and Tampa Bay, right?
I'll take either one.
All right.
Of course, we want Tampa Bay and Philly though, right? But what I mean,
I want Philly bad.
I feel like the Lions game, we really we was the better team. I
Yeah.
think we controlled most of that part. I think it was just a lot of mistakes, a lot of mismanagement. Some of the same things we just talked about. But as far as like that feeling, I think I mean, you look at the stats Dak put up, and even the defense played well. It's not like Jared Goff was going up and down the field against us, anything like that. Like it was a close game, but I think we get those guys again. I think it could be a different story. So I feel good about our path. Let's just hope the Rams sneak one out though.
I hope they do, because I can't lie. I want Philly bad in the playoffs. Like I want to get Philly. Like they shouldn't have won the first game. We beat ourselves, and there wouldn't be a conversation about, oh, Dallas got lucky with the NFC East. You know what I mean?
I would say this: if they make it there, and Dallas is a team to kind of put them out of that misery. Oh, they burning out buildings over there in
Oh,
Philly.
Sirianni gone.
He's gone, and that's the worst way. I think to cap off a season for a Philadelphia Eagles fan. So, whether they win or not, I don't think that's the the blender that they trying to run into. But believe me or not, I really think Tampa Bay comes in there, and I think they win that game. Especially hearing that with Jalen Hurts, they say he hasn't thrown since the Giants game.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then you expect a guy who's not hasn't been running the same passing, people has been getting after him. You got a Tampa Bay team that blitzes a lot, and he might be expected to sit back there in the pocket and throw with a dislocated finger, which he hasn't thrown on. I'm just saying, it got the makings of I don't even know if you can call it an upset, as weird as that sounds.
I agree. But bottom line, I think we take care of business against Green Bay this weekend. 4:30 Eastern time, right? I'm gonna be like this on the TV, and I think I might take Dallas and lay the 7.5. I don't know how I'm feeling. The over/under is really questionable. I could see it being like a 35-21 ish, but at the same time, it's a home game. It could be 40-3, right?
I think so, man. Like for me, if you get too caught up into like the national media, and it's their job to make this thing interesting, they got to sell this game, right? Oh, like we got this matchup. Could it be an upset? They talking about Aaron Rodgers and what happened. Really, none of that matters.
Not
Even
anymore.
there's did catch it though. But listen, none of that matters right now. Okay, but yeah, Dez caught it, man. Even if but all that aside, none of that matters this week, man. And just the gut feeling of it, like we know, we know. We'll leave it to the other people to sell it however they want, but we know, man, like we are that team. Is we got to see San Fran on the other side of it some way. And if we do not win this game, boy. You know what I mean? With Dan Quinn possibly being on the men's and a lot of these contracts coming up, this may be our best path to a Super Bowl since, I don't know, like 20 years. And you thinking about last Super Bowls. While we had good teams, I don't think it all kind of clicked the way it's clicking now. And the timing of it and where we are, the career path for Dak, the weapons, the young players that we got together, the nucleus, and this path, which is honestly outside of San Fran, is, you know what I mean? I'm not saying it's scary. It's not scary at all. I
And,
think, yeah, we good.
and when you got Stephen A on the boys' side, you know something's clicking, right?
Yeah.
So, but before we get out of here, you want to talk? You want to talk All Pro?
Yeah, let's go ahead.
All Pro, right? So this season we do have CeeDee Lamb, Tyler Smith, Zach Martin, Deron Bland, and Brandon Aubrey, right? And I was kind of surprised going into it about the Tyler Smith snub in the Pro Bowl because I think he's been the best left guard in football this season. So it's good to see him get the honors of first team All Pro. Of course, Brandon Aubrey and Deron Bland got in there, and of course, 88 got in there, right?
For sure. And Pro Bowls, while some players may look into it like that, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's a lot more like fan involved, and there's a lot more people voting that probably shouldn't have a say so in it. I think, if you're going for anything, you're going for all pros. Unfortunately, it's guys like Micah who we all expect to be there. You know what I mean? But we all know it's a sex game. You know what I mean? When you look at it like that, a lot of people stat check, and it is some guys with higher sex stats this year. And then, like I spoke about Tyne earlier, I felt like he could be deserving, and we can go on and on about guys that deserving, like even a DeMarcus Lawrence. You know what I mean? But I think for the guys and the group that we got right there, all of them is what deserving for sure.
For sure. And I wouldn't say Micah got snubbed. I kind of hope we get to see him and TJ Watt on second team All Pro, right? But obviously his stats didn't really back it up. Was that his fault? I don't think so. But I also think we could probably see Brian Anger second team All Pro. But shout out to those 5 guys. Cowboys lead the league in first team All Pro players.
That's beast. We always got the talent, man. We just got to make it all click together. And Mike McCarthy, man, I can't say enough about him. I'm very appreciative of him, where he's taken his team, to the point where now we're singing a different tune. Where it's like, I don't want to see Mike I'll leave. You know what I mean? And even if Dan Quinn was to leave, I kind of want to continue to see Mike take this group, harness them, and kind of keep what's going in a good direction. You don't just allow a coach that obviously had 12 wins in back-to-back seasons to just walk out, right? Barring a complete letdown. You know what I mean? If we lose this game, then it's a different story. I don't know if it's Super Bowl or bust per se, but for us, and as long as we've been waiting for that 6 and just to get there, just to win some playoff games, and just for Dak to get the respect that he deserves, man. We didn't even talk about him. That's crazy, right?
He should have been first team.
He should be first team, but I think that obviously will lead to the MVP thing. We all know where that's going. Obviously, if you're going off of this, but we got the team. We got a team. Let's go ahead and take care of business. Cowboy Nation. Hey man, we up, man. It's no stress. It's no nervousness. Just go ahead and lay back. I ain't say pick your feet up. I know a lot of people would be tense or whatnot, but I think we'll be all right this week, man. I do.
No, and that's it from my side. You got any final words?
Let's get 6.
Hey.
Game, hey, 5 to go. Let's get it.